Since everybody's writing jingles nowadays, let's come on, let's do a jingle. Hey, welcome to We Don't Have the Answers.
Who writes jingles?
The girl who got paid $2 million wrote a jingle for Dr. Pepper, and she was literally just looked like she was just hanging out in front of her camera and was like, I don't know how she did it, or I don't know how
Clearly
it sounded.
not the way you just did it.
It sounded just like it.
We don't have the answers, and we don't have the jingle.
Hey, welcome to We Don't Have the Answers. Somebody fix that. Send it back to us. I'd love to use it later. Thank you.
We will not pay you. We will not pay you $2 million.
Oh, but look, I can give you a crisp $20 bill, though. Crisp. Brand spanking new from the bank.
Oh,
right.
Welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing? If you didn't like my jingle, we'll just keep it simple. So glad you guys are here today. My glass cleaning cloth. I forget what we're doing here now. We're about to talk.
We're going to talk.
This weather there.
We're going to
we're about to talk.
invite you guys into it, but we're going to hang out for a little bit.
How about this? Let's kick it off with some of our new couples edition Tales cards for those who might be interested in these.
This is not a sponsored post.
This is not a sponsored. They have not sponsored us, but we decided we've been wanting to kind of like dive into these, and maybe we'll break the ice of this episode, this conversation with.
So can I tell a story before we start?
Yes, of course.
So back in 2022, when you and I were separated, and God had kind of led me to still do some roles in the house that I was not quite enthusiastic about. Example, he still just in leading me, the Holy Spirit had still led me to like cook dinner as a family and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would cook dinner. We were separated. We slept in different areas of the house. We didn't really like do much together. The one thing we did do is we would sit down to dinner with the kids. That's always been a big thing in our family.
Right.
Having dinner as a family.
Right.
And there's many reasons behind that. But during the season, God very much and the Holy Spirit very much impressed upon me that was not to change. Even though I was like, well, if he don't want to be with me, I'm not about to cook for him. But it didn't matter.
You want to cook for me now?
No, I didn't want to. So anyways, I was cooking. We were still sitting down for dinner, but it was like super awkward. In my world, it felt awkward. It was like I didn't really have the conversations we were having outside of the dinners and things. It just could feel a little fake. Not necessarily fake. I see where the value is now, but at the time it was just like, what are we talking about? So I got conversational cards. That's where the cards started.
Oh,
I was trying
to figure out where you were going with this. I was like,
yeah.
Why did she want to do this conversation? Why did she want to tell
Sorry.
No. I get it.
So
okay.
I got conversational cards. I don't remember how
I got
them.
These conversational
No,
cards.
I didn't get these.
You just got some, yeah.
I just got some random ones. They were not. These are supposed to be much more.
These are more
fruitful.
For couples. Yes.
Well, no. The ones I got were very much like, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? Right? They were but what they did was they would allow safe conversation at our table.
Yep.
And so I think it's very funny that our kids fell in love with them to the point where Rob was like, can we get some better conversational cards once we moved on and him and I ended up reconciling and things like that. The kids still love these conversations. So we have tried several different brands. So this is one of the brands we're trying as well. We have a teen set. We also have another set that are more Christian focused. And so these we do. Yeah, we have it. But that is because me trying not to have an awkward conversation at dinner led to us having multiple sets of conversational cards. And now we're going to do it on our podcast.
Well, you know what?
So I just thought it was like a cool full circle moment.
That's a good point, because what I will do is next episode, another episode, we'll pull out some of those more I like to call them disciple focused cards.
They're really good.
Just because I think all of these lead to great conversations.
Well, and I think sometimes when you're in even like our situation, or maybe you are just, especially if you have teens, They can be more difficult to kind of draw out conversation when you're just like, oh, how was your day? Fine. And so I know they can feel awkward and silly at the beginning, and even teens can kind of push back, but our teens are also ones who actually enjoy them or like them. So for just anyone who's like, my kids don't really talk to me, or I don't really know what we should talk about, they either answer one word answers or they say they don't know. These are a little lighthearted at times and can also help just kind of bridge conversations and help bridge connection.
Yes. No,
So,
I was about to say, honestly, I think they're great. They're great ways to, when you don't feel like talking, when you don't know what to talk about, they're great questions that are almost like external, where somebody's asking the group. So now it makes you come up with something. And I like how on the front of this it says, give time to reflect and respond. Don't be afraid of silence. I think silence is where a lot of us get lost, and we kind of find ourselves saying, well, if you don't want to do this, then we don't have to, because it's followed by silence, and silence a lot of times is where people are reflecting instead of like thinking, I don't want to do this.
Or some people use silence as a way to get out of it.
Yeah, but I don't think people should always just assume that. I think people should leave room
I agree.
in silence instead of trying to feel silence. Just let silence be.
Yeah.
Allow silence to be the groom where people begin to dig and think up more than just one word answers. I think silence can be powerful if you let it, if you allow yourself to sit in it sometimes.
All right, so what's our first question?
Okay, you're gonna start rushing me.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to rush you. I was just excited. I'm excited. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I'm just.
Was I rushing you?
No. I was about to read.
I was excited. Sorry, it was more of excitement than rush.
All right. Okay. I hope this question meets your excitement. We're just gonna go from the front of the box. What do you think is my biggest strength in our relationship?
What do I think is your biggest strength? And you're gonna answer, what is my biggest strength?
Correct.
Is that how we're doing it? Okay.
What do you think is you're right.
I'm just making sure I'm answering for you and not myself. Okay. So what do I think is your biggest strength in our relationship?
Yeah.
Why don't you go first? Only because you say I don't ever kick it back to you. So I'm kicking this
off. A little bit of gaslighting thrown on there. Like, oh yeah, let me just manipulate him a little bit and make him go first. Right? Your biggest strength in our relationship.
Correct.
Yeah, not in our family. I had to think about that for a second. Of like, oh, that's in our family. In our relationship, your biggest strength is sometimes, I like to call it the easy button, where like I am trying to figure something out, and I have gone like to the depths of the world of like, oh, I have gone into my ChatGPT mind without opening up ChatGPT, and I come back in and like, perfect example, there's all this snow, I don't know what to do, and I come back in, oh yeah, just use the leaf blower. Leaf blower. Oh my goodness, this is genius. It's making up, and it was like, yeah, I that is sometimes I think one of your biggest strengths of like, whether it be use the leaf blower, or have you asked God about that yet? What did God say about it? I mean, well, yeah, I could do that too. I think that is one of your biggest strengths, not the biggest strength, but I think that is one of them. I'll kick it back over to you while I think about that more.
I think for me, what I would say one of your biggest strengths in our relationship is your patience. Specifically with me. It can take me a while to come to, I'm a little bit more of a, I don't know. I think I come across a little bit more of a harder nut to crack sometimes, depending on the conversation, depending on what we're talking about, depending on just different things. Sometimes it's me, even just patience and just giving me some space to figure out like how I'm trying to say this or what I'm trying to say, things like that. And so I would say that's a strength that I require patience with anyone who's trying to be in a relationship with me. Not in like I'm not insufferable. Like I'm not like, I just think it can I don't get to things as quickly sometimes as you do, whether it's answers or whether it's just kind of thoughts or solutions. I don't sometimes get to things as quickly. And so I think you're very patient with me in that aspect. And with my emotions, because I'm a highly emotional person.
No. I use the words now. You have big emotions. And
I have big emotions.
Big emotions.
So he has to treat me like a toddler. Do we have big emotions, Amber? No, I'm kidding. He really doesn't.
But and as I've said this before to people, it's not even that I have to treat you as a parent with your big emotions. I've had to relearn how to sit with a person who has big emotions. Yeah. And because I've come from a setting where people have had big emotions, it was best to just be like, okay, so we're going to go ahead and get up out of here now because I see emotions forming in people and I don't want to be around for this. And now it's just like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
How will I survive if I stay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to stay even though this is not safe.
It feels unsafe. It's not necessarily not unsafe.
Yes,
it's not necessarily unsafe.
Yep. No, that's a good point. Yep.
All right, let's do one more. That was fun.
All right.
That was a good one.
That was. All right, next question.
Oh. Make it appropriate, please.
You know how like sometimes people set this stuff up to where it's like questions they want, and so you're just like randomly just flipping through it and you're like,
is this one we want? No?
Yeah, we're gonna go with it anyway. What's a personal goal you have that you'd like more support with?
Oh.
Yeah.
Personal goal I have. Sorry.
Why are you laughing? I'm gonna go first because I don't like the way she's laughing. This podcast and this social stuff, be nice. It'd be nice. You know, you just pop on Instagram or somewhere from time to time and just throw one back over the fence at me, you know, engage with our content. Watch one of our episodes.
I did watch the first one, even though you said I wouldn't watch it back. I did watch it.
You're right. I don't actually mean we have to watch the episodes. But,
you just mean like engage in the content. Yes.
Yes.
That is one thing you would love my support in.
It would be nice. I was just on top of my head. I'm sure there's more.
Maybe one day this podcast will get to the point where I can hire someone who would do that for me.
Listen.
Maybe that's my goal.
You know what? I was sitting here and I was like, yo, hold on. Before you just dismiss that idea, like, hold on now. That might be revelation. And I receive it.
As I've posted previously. Yes, I have a very weird relationship with social media. You can come in. Oh, what do you need?
No, you can't.
I thought you were Harley.
You don't need nothing.
Is she still asleep? Okay. All right. Do you need anything? Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
It's live.
Yeah, we're recording.
We're live right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. One goal. I don't know if it's just I'm sitting here thinking of my goals. I don't really realize that. I don't know if I have too many goals, quote unquote. I used to be so goal oriented. And then you reach all your goals and you're like, what do I do now?
Oh, there's this one right here then.
No, I don't mean that. I just don't think I didn't make unattainable goals, I guess is my point. Like I didn't make.
Well, your goals aren't really goals then if you wake up this, you know what? Whoa, pause. Look at me.
Anyways.
That was so inappropriate.
Anyways, I think, I won't call it a goal. I'll just maybe call it a journey. And maybe that's the thing. I also don't like the idea of goal because I do feel like that kind of, but a journey. Recently, just my food, I think like rethinking like how I eat and what I put in my body. Specifically, I have recently, or I'm in the midst of a a 40-day sugar fast. And when I say the sugar has been abounding at my house from my family, and I understand that they were not all called to fast from that. But, just sometimes like a little bit more support in maybe just remembering.
I've been terrible. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I've been terrible. I've been so bad at this. Like we'll be at the store and I'll be like, oh, look at this candy right here. You want to get some? And she looks at me and I'm like, what, you don't want? Oh, you can. I'm so sorry.
It's funny at the beginning of the fast, like there's like there's a chapter of like how to prepare, and one of the things is like to go through your house and like get rid of all of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that can't happen in my house. So,
yeah,
I'm not necessarily.
So that means.
Here's the thing: I don't necessarily.
Your fast has been even greater because you had to do your fast while having to look at everything that we still have here.
I don't necessarily think I've felt more tempted. I don't know if I felt more or less tempted. I will say I think it does create feelings of like a missing out. Like, oh, I'm missing out on a good taste, and realizing that
it ain't been that great.
Not only real. I mean, I think that's also a way in which that's kind of the point of the fast, right? Like I'm missing out on the fleshly pleasure, but that is to call me to a more spiritual.
Exactly. And we're helping you with that by like putting it all in front of you.
That's
like,
not.
Hey, you want some of this?
That's absolutely not what you're doing.
Like,
it's absolutely.
I'm tempting you,
and
like the tempter, and I don't want to see myself as a tempter, which is crazy. But like I am literally like you. Would you like to turn that rock into bread?
You are. You literally are. And then there's also like a question of like, do I continue this on? Because some things that I struggle with, just health wise, nothing super serious, but some things that I've struggled with health wise have kind of resolved or become minimal minimal disruption in my life. And so there's a question of like, can I sustain this? But with a family that is not super supportive of it, it does seem a little less. I mean, like, let me have an unsweetened tea and the whole family has something to say about it. Let me have black coffee. The whole family has something to say about it.
All we have to say is like, what are you doing with that? Like, we're just trying to figure out like,
no,
how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? Like
you go off sugar and your body doesn't want it anymore.
So let me say this. We are from the South. So I don't want to get us confused with Northerners who regularly drink unsweetened tea. So in the South, it is almost like unsweetened tea is the tea that hasn't been finished yet. We haven't sweetened it yet. It's not ready yet for us to drink. So a lot of times if there is unsweet tea, it is because nobody has added sugar yet in the South. So when you are sitting here and you bring unsweet tea into the house, it's just like, well, what you gonna do with that? Like, how's that? What's that gonna do? What you gonna do with that? So it was just, well, clearly, I mean, we realized that after some time, but
anyways, so that was my answer. One goal.
Okay, well, all right, cool. Well, I think that's incredible, and we will be there to support you, whether it be through challenging you or making it challenging. It will be a goal. It will be a goal if you continue on after 40 days. I love how our kids just kind of like just pop in and then just leave the doors open me. And just is one?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
The son, Justin.
The son. Yeah, it's just. But all right. So today we have a really good topic though that we're actually going to hit on. Just following that little icebreaker that we had there. More of a pitch to you guys to say, hey, look, if you would love to have these conversations, sometimes they don't have to bridge off of our conversation. Sometimes you can literally buy you a box of conversations sometimes that may start the conversations that may lead into deeper conversations. So let's be real. We're in a climate in the world right now where I feel like it gives you plenty to talk about, but sometimes we don't want to talk about those things.
I don't think I think sometimes those. I think if you're struggling with connection these were specifically for a partner. If you're struggling for a connection with a partner,
True.
Those may not really breed connection.
For sure.
When you're trying to connect to your partner or even get to know your partner, or maybe you're in a season in life where you feel like you're growing apart and you want to kind of like reintroduce yourself to your partner or have them reintroduce yourself.
It just hit me. Or actually meet your partner for the first time because the first person you ever met was their representative.
Right.
And their representative represented them so well that now you don't even know that person because the representative no longer is needed. They've taken a break. They've moved on. And now you got this person who you like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think and therapists, I'm sure, say this. I think I've heard this somewhere. But like, as you go through life, I mean, that's why like there's like a big group of people who like in like their 50s or like when their children move out, they do experience like separation and divorce, but it's because you are a different person. Like you're not the same person. I'm not the same person you met when I was 21, 22.
No, true.
And some of that's thank God. But then there's another part of it. It's like, but that's the person I fell in love with. And so I think sometimes connection cards, things like that, help you but like remember the reason. Because deep down, there are some core things that are the same. And some of them may be different. But again, I'm just saying, I think reintroducing yourself to your partner, letting your partner reintroduce themselves to you, not you just assuming, well, because they do this behavior, this is how they are now.
Yeah.
I just think it can breed connection when you look at the world around you and you see all the stuff going on. Sometimes that almost leads to more despair and loss of and hopelessness versus
good point.
I want to connect with you and I want to know you, not where you stand politically, because yes, that is a representation of you, but that is not the whole sum of people.
Where'd that even come from? That doesn't represent.
I don't mean
you.
like political. I mean like when I say political, I don't just mean like politics. I mean like world views, world things, things like that. Like I don't know how much.
I don't actually think that is the sum of a person. Like I think
some people make it their whole identity.
I get you're right. True. Well,
I mean online and things like that's how they present themselves. I don't think it is anybody's whole identity.
Gotcha.
I think that sometimes it can be so loud when you're in those conversations that it feels like that's their whole identity and you forget about that's the whole.
Point. Okay, that's a good point. Okay.
Anyways, so back to our topic. Sorry, babe.
Yeah. Well, man, I do a topic today. We just might stay here because I mean, like, I'm just
we can stay here.
You know what? I was just sitting here thinking. I was laughing to myself, and I was like, it's so funny how, like, for you, embarrassment moment coming in 5, 4. Your representative was totally like your representative gave off the fact of like you didn't fart, and I thought it was crazy that as
what.
Yeah.
Like, rewind. Wait, what? First of all,
I did not think you publicly farted, which is crazy. And then I realized that.
Wait, why are we discussing this?
I did like a countdown warning. I
right.
prepared you for that.
But that makes no sense to me.
I'm sure that. What do you want?
I'm bored.
Not here.
I can't listen.
No, what?
I'll be quiet.
This is wild.
When did this happen?
Why are you bored, baby? Why don't you?
Well, I'm just waiting till my pizza's done.
How many people have kids who are bored
Go.
right after Christmas, right after the like they got plenty of things to do. They got so much stuff, but they're bored.
Are you wanting to do a craft?
No, we're not by ourselves.
Or are you going to wait till after you eat your pizza?
She entertains her. She's going to entertain her.
Go so we can do this, please.
She's going to entertain her. You can see it later. You can watch it online. Matter of fact, you can be the first to watch it. How about that? We're low on viewers right now because
you said we're low on viewers?
I don't know.
Oh.
Just talking. We'll invite you to the next conversation. Maybe it'll be about you. All right. Well, lost where we were going, but maybe it's probably best.
I don't know why that's coming up though.
Why? What's coming up?
That I didn't fart.
Okay, she's gonna hang on to that. Like, let's just go on to the next topic. All right. Good Lord.
Are you irritated?
No, I'm just between that one and this one, and it's just like, listen. She said that I was really good and I was patient, but like not
First of
always.
All, this is the patience of a saint right now. All of this going on. This is literally.
I guess inside of me, I'm just like, yes. All right. So, a while back ago, we asked some people to give us some great topics they would like us to talk about, some things that they would like us to discuss. And hopefully you haven't like logged off with all of the commotion that's going on here. It's like, what the heck are they talking about? So, but you're in for a good one though if you stay with us though. Okay, so this week we got a really good one. It was a long one, so we decided to make this one maybe a whole episode. And what it was, and I don't know if I'm going to start from the bottom and then read up. Okay. So this person wrote, quietly wrestling with how to stay grounded in Christ while everything around us pulls in the opposite direction. Trying to live in the world without letting the world shape who you become. I was like, whew. But then they went on and they continued to like put different things and
examples of what this
examples, yes, examples like the daily balancing act of wanting to fit in, to connect, yet being called to stand apart. Engaging culture, but not being consumed by it. Loving people, but not adapting every belief or behavior around you, or enabling behaviors, and succeeding in life, but not letting success become your identity when that is how society identifies you. Whew. Man, I thought that was like, I was like, wow, that is like, if I could encompass the daily struggle of life, I would say for a lot of us, it is having a life that revolves around whether it be social media or social life, engaging in conversations, engaging in what this person has, what they're doing, and different things, while also, as they put here, being called to be set apart. And knowing even what that means to be set apart, and how that looks in a world where everybody is going this way. Yeah. And I know for some, they're immediately like, well, it's called the narrow path. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, so funny thing when you were reading that. Now, mind you, you've read that question to me 2 or 3 times, and I haven't thought about this. But when you were reading that, I think that's right there, that encompasses like my internal struggle when it comes to social media. How do I be because I feel like in my real life, like, and the people that I'm around, I don't want to say control, because I feel like it's not the right word. I have more, I guess, say and not be an influence. Like I can say, oh, I feel like when you get on social media, for me, and when you're interacting and when you're seeing all the culture, it can feel like that's a draw. And so I resonate with this question greatly, because I know the answer, in the sense of like, not like I know the answer internally for me, like how to stay grounded, and it's still a constant struggle.
Okay, well, I
said I know the answer for me.
Yeah, no, I know, and I'm sitting there like, well, I don't even have an answer for me. Like,
I know what the Bible says. That's what I mean. I guess I know what the Bible says. How you stay grounded, and I know what a lot of keyboard thumpers will say. Like, well, dude, like when you're in your word, and like I know all of that. Like, I think there's a difference in knowing and how it like plays out in real life.
Yeah. And even how it plays out amongst your friends that you are doing life with. I mean, like sometimes people are like, well, if I have a Christian community that's around me, then it keeps me safe. And it's like, nah, your whole Christian community can like be going straight off the edge with it and missing the whole point, and you can all be doing it together. Like, and
I don't know if I think when you're around people who are just echo chambers, I don't think that's... I think that's more worldly than Christian. Or
it depends on what you're echoing.
What I mean by echo chambers is, I mean, like, if I'm around literally the Bible says iron sharpens iron. Mm-hmm. If I'm around a community that purely echoes, like, yeah, good, yeah, that's exactly, yeah. Then I don't necessarily think, now echoing the gospel is different, echoing like truth is different, but I'm talking about if I'm around a community that never is challenging me, I would argue that that's more of a world. You have curated the people that are around you. That's a more worldly, like that almost goes along with that worldly idea of like keep your peace, or what do they call it?
Protect your peace.
Protect your peace, right? And like, so basically we let go of anybody who doesn't affirm us, who doesn't agree with us, who tells us differently and than what we want to hear, and we keep around the people. That's what I mean by an echo chamber. Not echoing the gospel, not echoing the truth. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people. If there are not people in my life who are calling me out, and not in a negative way, but in a loving way or in a corrective way, depending on the relationship that we have, then I would argue that you're not really, whether they say they're Christian or not, it doesn't matter. That's not technically a godly community.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wrestle with this all the time. So I want to say that I don't want anybody to think that like, oh, we give them a mic and now they got all the answers. And I know that I know that we always say that like, oh yeah, we don't really have the answers here. But I think I recognize that, yeah, I'm them. Like I'm those people that are wrestling. I'm those people that are trying to be in the world, but not of the world. And that sounds great, but I think that there are times where I'm very much so in the world that I've become of it, and I don't even realize it. Like I'm sitting here saying like, oh man, I've like I'm not like you guys, and it's just like I'm just like you guys, and I don't even realize it. Like because I feel like because I'm holding a Bible, I'm carrying a Bible, I can't be like you guys. And it's just
we
like,
have our verse in our verse in your bio.
I did my verse of the day today. So brother, I can't be like you guys. And it's like, nah, man, like I'm and this, I recognize this is an area that I have to give myself grace in a lot of times, but I don't want to grace myself out of believing the truth that, bro, you've fallen victim. Like, and so I recognize this struggle of like saying, hey, like it's almost like saying, who do I want to be in the eyes of God, while noticing that I'm not there yet, and I may never be. Like I'm striving.
Tweak that a little bit.
Okay, yes.
If we're striving, then we're not resting in the gospel. If we're striving to be something, then we're leaning into legalism.
Easy button. I love it. No, you're right.
So
you're right.
I think, I actually recently had a conversation with my sister this week about this, because of just a Bible study that we're doing together. And I think hear me out. We check our box of prayer, of reading our Bible. And then we go about our day and we're trying with our knuckles white to do everything that God, that we feel like God's called us to do. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in that we're striving. And I think if that is where we find ourselves, this is something God is actively working with me on. This is not something I have mastered. This is not something I think I can even fully say I've experienced fully yet. But if we are white knuckling or striving to be something, then we are not walking in the Spirit. We are not walking with the Spirit. Because I am not going to be humble apart from the Spirit. I cannot be patient apart from the Spirit. I cannot be kind and gentle, long-suffering, meek apart from Him. And so when we strive, we are leaning into legalism. We are leaning into a Pharisaical attitude, not because we want to be like the Pharisees, but because that's what makes sense to us. And so when we're talking about like, how do I be in the world and not of the world, I think the most simplest and the most complex answer is walking in the Spirit. And I'm trying to learn what that even looks like in my own life. Like, what does that even mean, right? Because in my mind, you and I have talked about this with a friend of ours, where he's like, can I get like a list? Can I get like hey, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this? And that's me. Like, can I get like a step plan so that I know which way to go next? Mm-hmm. And I think the terrifying yet beautiful thing about God is He doesn't give us that.
Right.
And I think that is because there's a lot of reasons, right? There's a lot of reasons. I mean, the fall of Eve was literally that she wanted to, like, that's what the enemy tempted her with. The snake tempted her with. Don't you want to know good and evil? Don't you want, I can't remember exactly how he says it, but it is basically this, don't you want to know more?
Mm-hmm.
And God was right. We couldn't handle it. It would lead us to death.
Mm-hmm.
And it has led us. And I still think we operate in that same, can I just know it? Can I just know more? And so when we're talking about the question of where the person asked, like, how do I live in the world? How do I walk this out? I think when we find ourselves, I think the beauty of God is when we find ourselves striving, when I find myself, I think I'm in the world. I think I'm being influenced. I think I'm kind of when I find myself in there, then I go back to his feet and I say, okay, God, somewhere I've misstepped. Can you show me the way? That's the only way I think we can do it. Otherwise, we are striving. Otherwise,
you know
we are.
What God just showed me? He was
What?
like, literally, while you were talking, and I was sitting there listening. I was like, yo, that's so right. I was like, yo, it's so funny. We should have, and not that we're going to change it now. We should have named this podcast, We Don't Have the Answers, but I'm going to read my Bible. Because everything you said, it's just like, how have you struggled? Well, I mean, I'm going to read my Bible, and I'm going to tell y'all what I read in my Bible. And that really, as much as you're like, well, I'm going to give you the simplest form of the answer. I mean, the simplest.
I didn't say the. I said the simplest and the most complex.
Most complex.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to make it seem simple. It's not simple.
Yeah.
I think the words are simple. The actual living it out, I haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
And the only, so I shared this with you this week. I'm doing a Proverbs Bible study, and I share this with you, where she was quoting someone else, and she said, where it lists the kindness, compassionate, meek, humble. It's in Colossians chapter 3. It says that we have all those things because we've been chosen. And the lady said, why is it when I need it, I'm always kind, but when I need to be kind, I can't get it.
Right.
Or how come I can't seem to find it? Or when I'm always patient, but when I need patience, I can't seem to find it.
Right.
And so the simplest thing, and I shared this with you on Monday, in what I feel like the Holy Spirit and what God is leading me into is when I go to grab that patience and I don't have it, when I go to grab that compassion and I don't have it, I think that's my cue to say, hey, I'm trying to do this in my own strength.
Okay.
Like where Paul says, like where I'm weak, he is strong, right?
Where no, I think it's where I am weak, I am strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because
but
of God,
gets that,
right?
yeah,
But because of
yeah.
God,
yeah. But it's a context piece, because if you read the scripture right before it, he talks about how he is where I receive my strength, because I have asked many occasions to, like, hey, look, could you take this storm from me?
That's
could you
what
take this? Could you and it's realizing that even in my weaknesses, even in our weaknesses, that we are strong because of what he has already done, what he is doing, and what he can continue to do. So
and so what I felt like I kind of started thinking on this after that Monday night, and I was like, God does not ask us to be strong and then when we're weak go to him and say, hey, can you help me? He's asking us to be with him and be strong with him.
Yes,
him.
That's where.
And so where I think where I have a tendency, I don't know about anybody else, but I have a tendency that I'm going to be strong. And then when I don't have it anymore, I'm going to go, okay, God, I need your help. I need you to help me. And God's like, right, but I didn't need you to do any of this.
Yeah.
I had all this. I needed you to come to me.
Yeah.
And so back to kind of the original question of like, how do you do this? I think it is doing it like that. My sister said the craziest, and I haven't shared this with you, but imagine if in our marriage, I said, hey, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to converse with you 30 minutes every single morning, but then like, don't talk to me for the rest of the day. I'm not going to, that's kind of how we approach God. Hey, I'm going to pray and I'm going to read my Bible for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours in the morning, but then like the rest of the day, I got this, God. Like you and I don't need to keep talking. And I don't think we say it like that, but that's how we treat it, right? I checked off my Bible reading. I checked off my, but what if at 2:00 you come to me and you're like, hey, I want to share something with you. And I'm like, you're gonna have to wait till tomorrow at 30 minutes in the morning. Like when I talk to you, right? Like, and she said this and I was like, oh my God, that is how we treat God. We do. It's like, hey, God, listen, don't tell me to go talk to this person right now, right? Like I got all this to do. I got a checklist. I got a to-do list. But catch me at 5:30 in the morning when I'm sitting down and I'm reading, you know? And so I think walking in the Spirit, or like she was saying, like living in the world but not of the world, I think is this becoming like wholly available, maybe? Like completely available to God and where he wants to lead us. And not like putting him in like my verse of the day.
Yeah. Walking and doing life with Christ while also being connected, engaged, influenced, and consumed by what's going on in the world, in the culture, wanting people to still love you and accept you and value you, and experiencing success. And I think that's the only one where I'm like, okay, well, succeeding in life, it doesn't always look the same way as what the world culture looks like and says.
Yes, and I think that it depends on how you define success. Like, as a Christian, is our definition of success supposed to be that I've been chosen?
Yeah.
And that is my success, that is my identity, and anything that comes after that is just extra? And I don't know, I'm asking. This is that's not to say that we are not supposed. Now, mind you, the Bible is very clear. We are still supposed to be hard workers. We are not supposed to be idle. We are not the Bible is very clear. We are supposed to continue. Like, it's not like we get saved and like, oh, we're good, we don't have to do anything else as far as like in life. But I wonder if what we're called to in Christian life is like, hey, the success is that I have been saved, that Jesus did it. He did it all for me on the cross.
Yeah.
And because of what he did, I am now chosen. I am now an heir.
Right.
And that is my success. Through Christ, now I am this. And any worldly success that I may have, any spiritual success, anything extra is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
There's no other. And that is not to say that God does not call us into special gifts, certain gifts. That is not to say God does not call us into certain.
Well, I don't think he calls us. I think he's given us all special gifts.
That's what I meant. But I mean, calls us into like special assignments, and things like that. I'm not negating that, but I'm saying all of that is just extra. That's just an extra layer of success to the fact that I have been chosen, I have been called, and he has saved me by grace. And so, and that is for me a weird and radical way of looking at it, because I don't think until this conversation I've ever looked at it like that. So this is not me saying this is how I've operated in my own life. I think that when you read that and you even said, well, that kind of that one particular part not troubles you, but like kind of gave you pause. I was like, what?
Well,
what is success?
I think all of it does. I think all of it. I sometimes show up and I'm like, oh, you've figured this. You got this. You do this so well. And it's like I then have this question of sometimes like, well, do I? And is that my pride? A lot of times when I'm sitting here or even on God's glory, it's like I don't as much there because we're talking through all of the aspects of us, but sometimes in some settings with some people, it just feels like, oh, that aspect doesn't it's not me anymore. I'm this new improved, and it's just like.
But I would question we're not question like with me, but question internally and with God, like where that's coming from, because you are called to grow. You are called to move.
100%.
You are called to be transformed.
For sure.
And so if you are consistently trying to stay there, you can't be transformed and stay there.
But no. I'm not trying to stay there. I'm trying to go back and sit there with other people. I know there's nothing for me to go back to.
But you can't do. I guess my point is,
I don't want to speak so Christianese that people are like, I don't even know what they're talking about, man. I'm logging off now, dog. Like.
But again, I think there is a little bit, hear me out, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this.
You're not gonna be mean to me.
I think there is a little arrogance. Not arrogance. That's not the right word. But I'm going to use arrogance because I don't have the right word. In you thinking that you somehow are the one that sits with them. God will have you sit with them. Like He will use you to sit with them. But it's not you purposely sitting with them that's going to get them any closer to Christ. God will use things that we say. God will use our conversations. God will use things that we do to reach them. Right. You don't have to do that in your own. You don't have to be the one to let me make sure I include everybody.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I don't think we should be pharisaical. I don't think we should look down on people. I don't feel like we should tell people, well, if you would just walk in the Holy Spirit, you'd be fine. That is, but that's not of God.
Yeah, for sure.
For someone who is trying to, like even in the success conversation, saying the gospel, what the gospel is that Jesus Christ died on the cross for us, for all of our sins, and for our past, for our present, and for our future.
Right.
And so
but I think it's a heavy on He died for all of us, and not just for those who are chosen Him, who are walking with Him. No, He died for those who have not yet made that decision. He died for those
for sure
who may say to themselves, I'll never be like them. I'll never be a Christian. Like He died for all of us.
For sure.
So it's heavy on that when it comes to even like topics that I like to discuss for those who are like, well, I'll never be like them, to say, well, that sounds just like me. That sounds like my struggle. That sounds like something that has kept me from Christ. And so I am very, I always like to bridge those people back in, because I think there's a part of my heart that feels like at one time I was never bridged in. I was left on the outside. And so as a person struggles with the idea of like, how can I still be in this world and still, in a way kind of like, I'm not so separated from it that the culture, this world still allows me to be even a spokesperson in their circle, and I'm not so disconnected from it that like I don't actually have, like God isn't invited to the table through me.
So this is what I will say. Mm-hmm. Then say that. Trying to make Christianity
right
available for everybody, even if they don't give their life to Christ. And that's the things that we are talking about are not apart from Christ.
Yeah. No.
And so that's what I want to make clear. I do feel like sometimes when you are bridging out and opening up and making it less Christian, which is okay. I don't think that's what you're doing, but
I don't think that's
how it does. But it does.
But maybe it does sound like
it does sound like that. Like that we're almost making it available apart from Christ, and you cannot make some of this stuff available apart from Christ.
No, I mean, there a lot of what we have discussed and what we're talking about
is only available
through Christ.
And so that's what I want to make sure that we are very clear on, because when you and I are talking about
especially in the world where a lot of people feel like, well, I'm God and I can
or
be God,
the universe I want to be very clear, because when someone is listening, I want them to be clear
that it's through Christ.
It's in everything we do.
Through like your godliness or you
or like what grade Mercury is in or whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out here that represent or that will claim or that says that it can do these things.
And that's not us looking down or saying they're less than. It's just that
that's not what I believe. What I'm saying, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't want someone to see this, and think that can be applied universally. What we are saying, these cannot be applied apart from Christ,
for sure,
for what we believe and for what we're speaking
as
on.
Far as this, the way this person framed this question, because they didn't ask, well, how can I make friends in this world? And still, like they said, hey, look, I have chosen Christ.
Correct.
I am balancing these things of fitting in while being called to stand apart. And the truth of the matter is it's hard to fit in when you are called to be set apart. You're not going to fit in. I mean, and that's not me answering that. That's just me being honest.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's an oxymoron of like fit in and be set apart. Well, you get to choose which one you're going to be, while also realizing that fit in doesn't mean that you are pushed away. Fit in
doesn't mean you're not fitting. The opposite of fitting in is not rejection.
Come on. Yeah. It's simply saying that in my stand, I'm going to make up a word right now. In my stand partedness,
set apartness.
My set apart in what she said. In that,
it's not a word though, but yes.
In that, it's okay to not fit the mold while being set apart and being invited to the table, because what you have to say or what you may share, your perspective from being in the presence of Christ, is going to be different, and that's okay. Like, that's what you get to bring to the table in being set apart. So don't worry so much about fitting the mold that they want you to fit in. Bring that a part of you, that piece of you, that presence of God with you to set the mold. And because in the space that you've been invited
I'm
to.
one of these people. Yes, sometimes it does, being set apart does mean rejection. I just meant, like, sometimes that is what happens, right? Mm-hmm. However, like you're saying, that's not what it always means.
Yeah.
Those two words are not synonymous. You can be set apart and not necessarily be rejected. You can be set apart and be rejected. Right. I think, but to specifically speak, I think what you were saying was, yes, you don't, set apart means I'm not fitting in the worldly mold.
Right.
And that is not necessarily meaning I'm being rejected in all my circles.
Right. That just means that you're different. I mean, and not like in a different, like in a, you're better than. No, you're different because he's transformed you. Correct. You're different because he's in you. And what's really interesting is that you start to notice like your differences when you get around other people who are walking the same walk, and you're like, well, dang, I'm not that different. Well, no, because the truth is he's transforming all of us. But when you come into settings where people don't believe what you believe
in the world
or understand why you believe that, then yes, in the world, then yes, you are going to seem very much like, okay, they don't get it. It's like, but I do, but the answer, how I'm or where I'm answering from is you may not get it either. So it's a wrestle. It is a wrestle, as she put here. And even when it comes to engaging culture, but not being consumed by it, I think that we are. One. You know what? I would say this, and I speak. This is not me answering. This is just me sitting with sometimes the idea that the more time I spend engulfed by and consumed by the culture, which is like looking at things that are out here, watching what's happening in the world and what's going on in the culture and all that. I do become more consumed by it than I become equipped to respond to it. So like, meaning like I become more of it instead of like realizing how I play a part in responding to it. Because I'm just constantly consumed it all day. And I'm guilty of this. I'm so guilty of this, is that as I'm answering this, I'm just like, man, like, yeah, no, I like we sit around and we talk about all the time about like, oh, guess what this is? And it's so funny because I'm like, yeah, Amber doesn't use Instagram like or she may not use like certain, but she uses social media.
I don't use it.
She doesn't like to call it. Go ahead.
I don't use it. I scroll it. I'm not active. Okay.
People. Oh, wait a minute. We're live. People want to know, what the heck does that even mean?
I just mean like
scroll it.
Right, but I don't post my life. I don't post things. I'm never in the I read the comments. I'm never participating in the comments.
No. Jesus. Hold up now. You're never in the comments. Wait a minute now. It's a separate couch, God.
I don't engage in social media. I will scroll it. I do not engage it. Personally.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong with doing that. That is a personal
So you
thing
consider
that I
engaging more like you're going back and forth with people like, no,
not
this
necessarily
ain't that.
no,
Like,
not necessarily a bad way. Like even posting on friend stuff, oh how cute, or she looks so adorable. I don't do any of that. I can literally see a picture of my child on my sister's Instagram
but
or
you don't think your
Facebook,
baby looks cute.
and I don't even respond to that. Like I just don't engage with content
You don't
online.
think your dress is cute?
No, I don't. That's not true. Sometimes I'll actually text people like, oh, that was cute. No, I will. Or I'll tell them later. Like
If you didn't get that text.
I don't engage with it the same way that I used to. You're so stupid.
I know you sitting there like, you going to get me in trouble. My friends going to text me after watching this. They're going to be like, I didn't get no text message. You didn't think my dress is cute? You
Actually,
clean that up
I
later
have
on.
very, very few friends that I actually like, quote unquote, follow. Now, my Instagram's different now that you set it up. I do have a lot of people on there that I follow that I know personally. But really, like, where I scroll on Facebook, it literally is just random reels. Like, it's not people I even know. Like, I don't pay attention to a For You page. No, like, I just...
Right.
But
So
but
hold on.
regardless, but I think a little bit is this. I'm still working through what it means to not be consumed by it, to not be influenced by it. Because I don't really watch TV, so I'm not really like I also am one that what I see, what I hear, it can heavily impact me. And I don't know if everyone's like that, but for me, like
I think that's all of us.
I've struggled with in the past where there's been disasters, whether they're natural disasters, whether it's like a shooting kind of disaster, where I've gotten so wrapped up in the news coverage of it that like I can't seem to separate from it. Like I have a hard time separating.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where there's a little bit of like, I don't know if it's that I don't trust myself. And I don't know, that's a weird way to say it because I'm not doing anything quote unquote wrong, but it's that I don't know how to, I don't have adequate boundaries to interact with it. And I don't feel like I see very many people around me have great boundaries to interact with it. And so for me, I think I do.
It's either all or nothing. It's almost
well,
like
I'm an all or nothing person, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and I try and not live in there. But for me, I just haven't figured out the proper boundaries. Like there's sometimes like we'll do things. I'm like, oh, I should post this. But it's like, but then like, do I really need to post it? Like what would be the purpose in posting it? Like I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it is. So
let me say this to wrap all that up. Is it that as you said, it's all or nothing. There are some people who are like, I have gotten off social media completely because I'm not doing well with it. There is like this thing of like, as I wrestle with how little do I use, how much do I, it's for a lot of us, there isn't like this boundary where it says I'm going to use it for this amount of time without letting it fully engage and some people may say corrupt my mind and my thoughts and the way I move forward. I think that we're all just kind of like trying to decide like how much is too much and how much is not enough, and is it, can I just stop it completely, and is that the best answer to this, or can I engage in it and actually show up and bring a presence and bring something to it instead of just taking something and walking away just corrupted in a way. Like I think
I don't know the answer to that because I feel
that's fine. That's cool. That's okay.
When I say it, I mean for myself. I'm not saying for everybody else. He gets so mad at me. We're not looking for the answers. I'm
like,
saying
I
for
don't know the
myself.
answer. And it's like we're sitting there thinking, and I'm like, no, it's
no.
okay.
I mean for myself, I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I think that that's a little bit of the drawback for me. Like I can look around and see like as a society, we struggle managing or properly. I don't know, managing is the right word. Properly engaging with social media, engaging with culture, regardless of whether we're Christian or not. And then you add in the layer of not being influenced by it. And that's, I think, even more difficult. Like, I just feel like that's like an area of like, how do we exist in that? How do we show up on social media and engage in it and not be influenced by it? When you have the trends and you have all the the different coverages, and depending on if you've accidentally clicked on or watched a video that was maybe wildly in left field for you, but now your feed is all that. Like, I just feel like the algorithm does not yield to separation. Like, the whole point of the algorithm is so that you continue to consume it. That's the whole point of the algorithm. It is to feed you more things. If you stay on something long enough, it will continue to feed that because you have told the algorithm, this is what I like, and this will keep me more engaged. That this will keep me engaged in this app. And so it'll continue to feed. That is problematic for me. That's all I got. It's problematic.
I got you.
I know.
Okay.
It sounds crazy.
No. I don't think it sounds crazy. I think for people who experience that, you just summed it all up.
But it also gives me anxiety. So that does not help either. Like, I get anxious from being on social media too much. Just because of, like, I also feel like I'm, like, asked to process. I mean, a reel is what? A minute now? I don't know what it is now. We're just going to go with a minute because I think they're longer now. But they used to only be like a minute. But, like, think about it. In 7 minutes, I have processed 7 different people's opinions, different trends, different things. I mean, I've literally processed so much in 7 minutes. I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. We've wildly gotten off the topic, though.
I don't even know. I don't know if I should give this to everybody now. I'm just like, what's happening right now? I love it. I think it's good. She's being very vulnerable. I'm just like, yeah. I don't know
Maybe
if I
this
should
just be like a clip,
like
not in the episode.
Like I'm just like, what do I do with this?
See, this is why I'm not good in the podcast forum.
No.
Because it's like you have to stay on topic. I'm not an on-topic person, clearly.
Well, no, you know what? Some of this stuff I didn't even know until we just started podcasting. I'm like, yo.
No, it gives me extreme anxiety.
What does?
Social media.
Wait, what? Wait, we were just talking about podcasting, and you went back to social media again.
No, sorry.
So which gives you extreme anxiety? Social media gives you extreme anxiety.
Maybe in podcast too, but no, not the podcast. I'm just kidding. Not the podcast.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Love. Let me see how I'm going to, so we don't go too deep into this. She put loving people, but not adapting every belief or behavior around you. I think that there's a thought that if you love people, then you will adapt their beliefs, and you can respect a person's belief, but it's almost like, well, I don't respect it if I don't become it, if I don't adapt it, if I don't begin to showcase the same behaviors as the people that I love. And I would love to wildly say that, like, a lot of that stuff starts at childhood, like of loving the people around you while adapting their behaviors and all. And as you grow up, that doesn't, for some people, that doesn't go away. It's a survival thing of like, okay, now I have new people to love, and I have to adapt or showcase their behaviors and beliefs. And if I don't, and if my belief is different now, but I still love these people, then do I actually love them if my beliefs aren't the same anymore? And I think that can be very hard for people who is like, I still love them, but what if our beliefs are different? And what if we don't believe the same anymore? And I think both can be true. I say that a lot. Two things can be true. You can love a person and also not have the same beliefs and behaviors. And I love a lot of people who my beliefs and behaviors are so wildly different that we don't even really hang out like that anymore. And I still love them. And it can look to some people like, well, you don't love them if you're not around them. And it's like, yeah, that's a lie though. That's what you have chosen to believe so that I don't know, so that you can feel good about the people you choose to continue to be around. Period. Not period, like put a period. I'm just saying I'm period in myself. I'm done.
I think that how we define love matters. And a lot of times the world defines love as, if you love me, you accept everything I do. And so if we are defining it by that standards, the person's concern is legit. That's how oftentimes the world defines it. If you loved me, you would accept and believe what I believe.
But I think, okay, but wait a minute, hold on. I think there's a difference in accepting and then like saying, okay, but I
1000%.
do you agree with me though? And it's like, wait, I don't.
But again, that's what I'm saying. The world, we have changed love to mean acceptance.
Yeah, but can you accept a person? Can I accept all of you, love all of you, and not agree with all of your beliefs and behavior?
Yes, what I'm saying though is in the world that is not love means accepting and agreeing, or yes, accepting and agreeing. And so yes, I think there is a way to do that, but I think you have to understand that if you are interacting and loving people who are using the world's example of love, they may not interpret it as love.
Right.
I think there is absolutely a way. I don't agree with everything you do. I don't agree with everything you say. I don't agree with every belief you have.
What?
But I still love you. Same thing with our kids. Our kids are a prime example. We don't agree with half the things our kids do, say, or all that stuff. And we still love them.
Who would? I mean,
right?
I mean,
anyways. But I think my point is, I think it really depends on what definition a person is operating in when it comes to love. And so if you are in relationship with people who do hold the, if you love me, you accept everything I do and how I do it. And even if you disagree with me, you keep that to yourself. Because some people don't even like you to say, like, I love you and I don't agree with that part of your life. Like, whether
why do you even have to say that though? Like, I love you, but I don't agree with, because it's almost like you're lessening the blow.
I think if sometimes people come to you with those parts of your life, like they'll come to you with those parts and you're like, I don't, like, even if maybe they want advice or they want to share that part of their life with you, and that's not something you are okay with. Like, that's not something that you think is right. And so how do you, it is hard. It's a hard line. It's a line that you have to teeter by. I can love you, and I also don't know if I can participate.
I can love you and not disagree with you. I can love
but
you.
But some people feel like disagreement means being unloved. They assign disagreement with rejection.
Yep. Or assign disagreement with conflict. Yeah, man, I just did something on that. Wow. Yeah, that's a good point.
And so I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think building relationships.
I think. Hold on. Let's start before building relationships. I think understanding what love is and understanding what love's not. Like, let's.
But you can understand all day long if you are in relationship with people who don't. If you guys don't have the same I think understanding that person's definition of love will help you greatly.
Help you what? Handle them better? Like, okay, so this person needs to be loved differently. Like this person, because of their definition of how they view love, because of their upbringing, I have to love them this way. I think that's.
I don't necessarily know if it changes how you show up. I think it maybe changes how you understand if they reject you or not.
But hold on, but that sounds like you're trying to control their rejection or their response back to you.
No. What I'm saying, let's say I'm in a relationship with something, not like marital or like, I just mean like friendship wise.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I realize that, the type of love that how they define love is this way of like acceptance and complete agreements. If and when we come to a disagreement and I voice my disagreement and they decide they no longer want to be friends, I don't have to process that as a rejection of me. I can process that accurately of like.
But let's pause though. They decide they don't want to be friends anymore because you don't accept something. So you have told them you don't love them by not accepting.
That's how they
internalize. Right. So they choose not to be your friend anymore. Then like how you internalize or walk away. Let's not even get there yet. Let's just sit there with the whole fact of like somebody decided to walk away from you because you, in their mind, you showed them that you don't love them by not agreeing with them. And so they walk away or choose not to be your friend, and probably slowly. And you start to feel the slow pull away. So you start to take that as rejection. So it's two different people both internalizing love.
But what
differently.
that's
yeah,
not
yeah,
what I'm
because
saying.
because if
but
they
what
start
I'm
to pull
saying
away,
is if you know if you know that is how they understand love, then you don't need to process it as rejection, because you know that they are not rejecting you. They are not rejecting you. You don't need to process a rejection that's not of you. That's not for
I
you.
agree. I completely
So
agree.
that's what going back to what I initially said, I think it's important in our relationships to learn how that person defines love. Because if and when that scenario happens, I'm not internalizing that as rejection, because it's not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so tell me this. Have you ever been in a friendship where a person knows how they define love to say, if you don't agree with me, or we're not in alignment, then there's a lack of love? I personally don't believe people. Oh, really?
Yes.
Whoa.
I don't think they said it like that.
Yeah.
But their actions and how you responded to certain lifestyles or responded to certain opinions or beliefs for sure told me, and for sure informed me, that is how they viewed love.
So you were informed by the things they said. They didn't actually know how to...
By our conversations, yes. Through conversations, through disagreements, through stances on things. Yeah.
So they never could communicate that to you, because I'm sitting here like, yeah, wait
no,
a minute, somebody
I don't
was
think
able to communicate that. Like that's there should be a deeper awareness.
And hear me out, and I don't want to get into this too deeply, but I feel like a basis of a lot of the LGBTQ plus community is if you love Jesus' love, and you have to accept this. And I don't think that love equals acceptance.
Okay.
I don't think love equals agreement in everything. It just, I can love you and not agree. I can love you and not agree with you robbing the store. I don't see how that's any different than I can love you and not agree with a lifestyle choice. I can love you and not agree with your language choice. And so I think that's why I said a lot of our culture has shifted to loving equals acceptance. Now, I don't think loving equals condemnation either. So I'm not voting for that either. I'm not saying just because I love you, I'm going to tell you where you're going. Like, no, that's not, I don't agree with that either.
I know that's right.
I don't agree with that either.
Yeah.
But I think what we end up doing is we were loving equals condemnation, and we've swung the pendulum all the way to the other side, where it's loving means
I'll just accept
full
you.
acceptance.
I'll fully accept you. Yeah.
No matter what, and no disagreement.
Yeah.
When it's like, no, it's supposed to be it's not even in the middle of those two. It's not either of those.
Well, it's, you know what the truth is loving, accepting what a person does, or is it's like I love you, but I don't agree with your lifestyle choice. Like they're not separated from each other. Like I can love you and not agree with your lifestyle choice. I can love you and not agree with your health choices. I can love you and not agree with your job choices. Like I can love you, and it's not like if you no, it's I love you and I don't agree. And for some people it's an all or nothing. It's if you love me, then you would agree. If you love me, then you would. And I think that and this is just my stance. You know, might have to separate the couches now. Of like, if you disagree, that it's like, okay, if I can love you and still not get down with you, and it doesn't change. Like I haven't seen you in years, and I still love you, but I haven't been around you because we had a difference of lifestyle choices. Like it didn't change that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. I also think that there are going to be some things that will naturally separate, like lifestyle choices for example, would like naturally separate a friendship. Not that the lack of love, but just naturally would like drift apart. I think there are other things that should not separate a friendship, but we will allow them to, because we don't interpret that as loving. So like a difference of an opinion.
But a friendship doesn't always mean that you're right there with like I could be friends with the person who I haven't spoken to in years.
I
And it
wouldn't.
doesn't
I
make
would
me,
call that more of an acquaintance. I wouldn't call that like a friendship. I think I don't know. Like a friendship
well, I don't
does.
think we got time for that in this
Yeah.
episode. But
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think you'd have to. I mean, but then I have friends who like literally I haven't seen or talked to in years. But if I were to link up with them today, it would be like not a day skip. So I do understand.
Do they love you?
I think so. I haven't asked them in a while, but I'm assuming so.
Do you love them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I don't.
And would your love allow you, if they called you after 5 years going through something?
Stop. That's probably Harley. No, it's not. It's Maddie.
I have to get onto the computer for a group meet that's at 1:00.
Okay. It's definitely past
Still
1
got
o'clock. It's
classes.
1:12. So bring it to me.
We're doing this in the midst of life. We got school still. We're
need to
all licensed
see if
in,
I
but
need
we're snowed in. But no, we can conclude this in saying that, like, I think that sometimes separation and disagreements and all can put a tarnish on love.
Here's what I will say. I think in summary, like even to the question that was posed,
Mm-hmm.
I think the beauty that the person is even wrestling with this shows that their love for God, their walk with God is sincere. And I think that is the what God asks of us.
Mm-hmm.
When we give our life to Christ, he's not asking for us to come put together. He's not asking for us to figure all these questions out, as much as they are questions and then you do wrestle with them and they are hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's asking for the answers, us to have the answers. I think he's just saying, hey, continue to come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the beauty of the question was not, let me give you 5 steps or what are our 5 steps that we've done. I think the beauty of the question is that it opened up another realm of like going to God in areas you may not have typically gone to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? God,
Yeah.
how do I engage with culture and not become shaped by culture? Who thinks to even ask that question sometimes? Who's it even stop? There may be people who are listening, and even us, like, have we even evaluated how is culture shaping us right now?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the beauty of the question, the part of this is the beauty in the question.
Yeah.
And where it can lead any of us, where God can lead any of us to evaluate where he might be calling us to be different or calling us differently
Yeah. Yeah.
than we initially thought.
Or
And
calling
so-
us to be more of a reflection of him instead of a reflection of everything we see around
Yeah.
us. And being okay with being a reflection when society, culture, and everything around us doesn't reflect it. And
Yeah.
you being okay with that, like saying, hey, look, I recognize that I may be a cast out. I may look different. You may not accept me, but I'm okay with being a reflection and not being
Yeah.
accepted. Matter of fact, I'm in really good company because I was told that I probably wouldn't be accepted.
Yeah.
I was told that there would be like current day levels of persecution that would feel unkind and unlikely and very off-putting. And so, yeah, I think that in a lot of ways we are living out exactly what we were told would happen. And the wrestle is because it's like, but wait, why won't they? Why aren't they?
Yeah.
Why isn't this as easy, as cool, as accepting, as wanted as I thought it would be? And it's like, oh no, see, yeah, no, like if everybody accepted you before, and they're not tending to accept you as much now in this walk, on this transformation of being more like Christ, then yeah, you're doing it right. You're actually doing it right. Then there is something to be said. That's not to rush to the thing of like, well, how soon can I get everybody to hate me? No, that's just more. There are some people that do that too, and it's like
that's another extreme though.
Yeah, but it's like how will people tend to wrestle with me now because of my transformation and not because of my words, because of my my transformation that looks more and more like Christ. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah.
this is good. Thank you very much. You know you are for that question and all the other ones that we've either not answered yet, answered on a previous episode, or going to get to. So we thank you all for these. These have been good. Well, hey, look, we thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Today's episode was we went
A little more chaotic than
yeah, that was
honestly, it's pretty much on brand.
yeah, I was just about to say it was spot on. This is our life, and this is what it looks like in the midst of like parenting and talking and honestly, we know we get more. Let's be real. We get more opportunity to actually have the conversation where if normally we were having it outside of this room on the other side of this door, if we were to try to do the same thing, we would get interrupted way more. Like it would be ongoing interruptions of this and that because we're in front of them. And this is just us trying to do these behind closed doors, and it doesn't always work this way. So, hey, look, we understand. We're with you. You're not alone. You're not alone. Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
But we thank you guys for hanging out with us.
It was good.
For all those who listen, all those who tune in. Hey, first of all, I want to just say we appreciate you guys. And not because you subscribed or you liked or because you commented. And we want you. We would love for you to do all those things. Share it please as well. But we just appreciate you guys for keeping the conversation going, even if we don't know about it, even if it's not happening in the comments or wherever. You know, like wrestle with this conversation that we had. Like you go wrestle now. You go like, even if you don't like it, even if you don't like us, even if you're like, oh, I don't like what they got to say. Like that's okay. That's okay. We love you still. And we hope you still love us. But like wrestle with it. Like allow it to become a wrestle that you now take to God. Like you could take it to your friends, but they don't have the answers no more than we do. So like wrestle with this, like bring it to God. Like, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
Why do I feel this type of, it kind of feels like condemnation or like an attack or something like that. Or maybe it feels like I'm right and where I'm supposed to be, but it just doesn't feel like people are accepting of me. All of that's fair. All of that's real. So yeah, wrestle with us on this.
Yeah.
Know that these conversations are meant to do that. They're meant to bridge conversation with your partner, your friends, your children. Like wrestle with this stuff together. I want you to know that as you saw, I got a little uncomfortable here. It may get uncomfortable there. So that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean there's no love. It just means that there's like, okay, well, maybe we're on different pages and that's okay. So, but hey, we love you guys. We appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
And as always, keep rocking out with us.
We'll see you next time.
Later.
Keep rocking out.
I don't know. It just came to me. Listen, I'm going to say what's going to come to my head. And it'd be like, who the heck is that? I don't know.